Welcome back to Brewmatures. We got a fun one today. It's Lagunitas Brewing Company's Woodshop Series Willetized 2020. Yes, everybody dug into the dark depths of the fridge and pulled out from 2020 Lagunitas Woodshop Series Willetized. This is a coffee stout aged in rye oak barrels. I have had this beer before. I'm going to hold back my thoughts on what I thought of it back then in 2020 to see what Mary thinks of it now. What I think of it now after it's aged for 4 years. From our friend, the Kentucky distiller J.D. Willett himself, we have one type of barrel, wood, and we put two things in them. And once they're sufficiently spent, we score some of them scrutable casks from J.D. and put one thing in them, beer. The taste tells. It's good to have friends. Let us know what you think. There's a number we can call and be like, this sucks. Mary, you noticed their slogan? Life is uncertain, don't sip.
Yes. Take stout drinks like a shot.
Yeah, I think with beer it's best to sip it.
Watch me.
Net contents, 12 fluid ounces of malt, hops, yeast, and water. Good to know. Lagunitas I knew was from Petaluma, California, because I have family up there. And then apparently they're also in Chicago. That's really interesting. I don't know if we've done anything else Lagunitas on the channel ever. We have so many videos out now, I'm losing track of who we have and haven't done. But I'm fairly certain this is the first, maybe second Lagunitas beer on the channel.
Well, Lagunitas, if I'm not mistaken, they're big boys now. They're not independent anymore.
Yeah, they were bought out at one point, from what I remember.
I feel like when I see Lagunitas on a menu or something, in a restaurant or at a bar, I steer clear because I don't think I've had a good Lagunitas because they're so mainstream now. But they're not putting stuff like this on the menu though.
But they also have a lot of West Coast IPAs, and that's not our preferred style. Yeah. So if we go out somewhere and I see that, it's not my go-to.
Yeah.
I remember a buddy of mine, back when I was either just turned 21 or 22, for my birthday, they got me a 6-pack of Lagunitas brown sugar.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. So, I mean, and I remember that one being pretty tasty, but that was back before I really got into craft beer at all.
Yeah. You know what? I am thinking of Stone.
Oh, you're thinking of Stone, not Lagunitas.
The guy with the horns?
The gargoyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like Stone, for me in my head, though...
Well, they were also bought, too.
Stone and Lagunitas are very interchangeable. They're big boys. They do things that... Once in a while, they do something that I really like. But then, mostly, they're light beers. They're easy drinking. They're for the masses. They're not for beer connoisseurs. They're still craft beers, but they're light lagers, light ales. They're... like a Stella, they're like an 805. I don't know. See, like
West Coast IPAs for both of them.
That's how much I know about these breweries.
They're kind of a tale of what happens to a small brewery when they get bought by one of the big guys. A lot of people online complain about them nowadays, Lagunitas and Stone, because they used to be innovators. They used to have a lot of really good beers that people liked across the different varieties of beer, and now they've kind of narrowed things down. They don't taste the same, they don't taste as good, and it's because they're bigger, they're being more mass-produced. I know this one was kind of widely talked about, and it interested me, so I remember I got a 4-pack at the time. So really interested to see what I think about it now, compared to what I thought about it then. So that's enough talking about it. Let's get to drinking about it. All right, everybody, it's time to open the bottle and get Willetized.
I want to get Willetized.
I have been waiting to pour this beer and review it for such a long time. That's a big head for a stout. It's been barrel aged. Now, Willet is a whiskey. Willet bourbon. And it smells like wood.
It smells like even more Jesus.
It smells like wood. And they got the code on here from all that nonsense. You can figure it out in black. Black on brown with black liquid. Come on. Are you serious? You're going to do that? And then it's not even a date. It's just like a barcode. Like, oh, that means something to somebody somewhere. I mean, they put the year on it on the label, so that's okay. 2020.
Okay, Greg.
The smell is taking me back. This
Oh
is
my
exactly what I remember. It smells like wood.
Can you put a link to Even More Jesus? Because this, I'm wearing the same shirt, I know. But this...
Are you really?
I think so. This smells like Even More Jesus tastes. I don't know if Even More Jesus smelled like this, but very leathery, very woody. I don't get any coffee in here. I don't get any rye barrel.
It's 4 years old.
My
Maybe the
God.
coffee's dead.
I am so scared of this. I was so excited and now I'm so scared.
Time to be scared.
Okay. It's not as bad as it smells like. I can see the rye barrels.
Mm-hmm.
No coffee for me. It's not I take it back. It's not leathery. It's not super woody. I get a little bit of it, but it's nowhere near Even More Jesus. This is good. Take the link down from Even More Jesus.
It's too late. It's already in.
This is good. Is it my favorite coffee barrel-aged stout? Absolutely 100% not. But this is good. I really like this. I'm sorry, friends. I should have made all those faces.
For me, it's a little woody, but then it turns into the stout that I'm familiar with. As far as like a rye barrel-aged stout, it goes a little sweeter, because rye's a little sweeter than other whiskeys. And then the end is when I get coffee. Like a little bitter, a little coffee. And it's kind of nice.
Let me chew it.
It's time for the big chew. And while she's chewing, you could be liking, sharing with your friends, and subscribing. It all helps us out.
I never got any coffee.
Sucks to suck.
I never got any coffee. I get the rye barrels. I get the wood from the barrels. I get the alcohol.
Really?
Oh yeah, you gotta chew it.
I don't need that in my life.
Chew it. Chew it. I can hear you chewing it. I can hear your teeth.
I mean, a little bit of alcohol, but I don't get the alcohol a lot in this one.
I know what the ABV is. Do you know what the ABV is?
Hand me this one, please.
1.
Barrel-aged beer? But it's Lagunitas.
What
The
is
big
that?
boys don't like to go too high in their barrel-aged beers, I feel like. We're going to say this is 10.5.
You were so wrong. It's way higher.
14.1.
It's 13.1. Oh, not way higher, but higher than you would think.
Oh, wow.
This is way higher than I thought it was going to be.
Same. Maybe the alcohol's tempered over the years.
I got it a lot when I chewed it. It just needs to heat up a little bit, but also you need to chew it. It's not, when you chew the beer, it's not just warming up the beer, it's the act of chewing the alcohol and the stout and everything that goes on in the beer. It's not just warming it up. Just FYI. That's why we chew the beer sometimes. You know? You know?
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I like it. This is I shouldn't have talked so much shit. This is a 4 for me.
A 4.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. I think this is a 4. I think it's a solid 4. Solid little A- beer here. Really, really tasty. Now, I can tell you my thoughts on when I had it the first time.
In 2020?
In 2020. It was gross. The first time I had this beer, it was all wood on the palate when I drank it.
Really?
And I don't know if it's just that was a bad bottle. I don't know. I mean, this tastes like a different beer than what I remember. The smell is the same. The smell is that strong wood, like wet popsicle stick smell, but the taste wasn't like this from what I remember. I remember tasting it and being like, Oh, this tastes all like wood, like oak, like no chocolate, no coffee, no nothing. So over the years, I think it's mellowed out and the flavors have evolved.
So when you got that bottle in 2020, you got 2 bottles, that bottle and this bottle?
I think I got a 4-pack. Maybe it was just 2 bottles. I don't remember.
Huh. That's interesting because you would think that if you got them all at the same time, they would all be the same batch.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, maybe it just needed to age. But it's weird that you never got any coffee. I don't get coffee now.
I get a little bit at the end. It's not very strong, and coffee dies over time.
Yeah.
So it's 4 years old, so I would expect coffee to be pretty much getting gone by now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's weird that you never got coffee because it's saying that it's a coffee stout.
It was just a wood bomb. But I forget how often it is, but your taste buds do change every so often.
7
so
years.
Perhaps every 7 years.
I don't know.
So maybe my taste buds have finished changing or changed since then, and now it tastes different to me because of that. I don't know. I tasted it and was pleasantly surprised.
I was too, just from the smell alone. I mean, I never had this before, but just from the smell alone, it smelled like shit. But it tastes really good. I mean, not like, oh yeah, this is my new favorite stout. No. Obviously not. I mean, Bottle Logic is 7 minutes away, and the brewery is 15 minutes away. But this is a fine stout. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool that Lagunitas still does stuff like this. I mean, it was 2020. Okay, maybe they don't anymore, but
I haven't seen it since.
They obviously are doing other. Where did you even get this bottle?
It might have been a Bevmo or a Total Wine thing, but it could have also been a local bottle shop.
I think that's cool that like Lagunitas and Stone and like bigger places still do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like for those who know. Like I keep saying, like I feel like Lagunitas and Stone are for the masses, and this is not for the masses. I mean,
there you go.
The average Joe on the street is not gonna like this,
right?
I mean, I barely like it.
Now, if we compare this to like a KBS or even a CBS, I think I prefer the KBS and CBS personally.
The heck is the CBS?
Remember KBS?
Canadian Broadcasting Company.
Well, KBS, remember, it was the Kentucky Bourbon Stout, like the first ever barrel-aged
stout. Oh, yeah.
We had a bunch of those different flavors of them.
Yeah.
CBS is the Canadian Breakfast Stout, and it has maple syrup in it, and we have not together reviewed them yet. I have 3 bottles still, and they no longer make that beer anymore.
Oh, cool. Let's whip them out.
And that's by Founders, and they're another big company that was small and then it got bought out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I think, personally, I would rather have those than this, but this is up there with some of the OGs for me.
Yeah, I feel like, now you're saying Founders too, I feel like these very readily available stouts in these small bottles that come in 6-packs, they're fine for someone who doesn't really know much about stouts, but since we've been so spoiled by the brewery and by Bottle Logic and by all these good breweries around us, it's like, this is fine. It's not, this isn't what I want though.
True, I mean, it depends on what, like you said, what you want, but I will say if you want just an imperial stout or a basic barrel-aged stout and with no frills, no adjuncts, these are what people are looking for. I mean, that's why KBS still sells. That's why Sierra Nevada Narwhal is still around. That's why stuff like this sells, because, you know, the brewery and Bottle Logic, they add a lot of adjuncts to a lot of beers. The brewery still does come out with Black Tuesday every Black Friday. And they... And Bottle Logic does a lot of adjuncts, and not a lot of people are super fans of that. And they don't do just an imperial stout. They don't do just a stout barrel-aged. And if they do, it's rare. Overall, Lagunitas, this is a bottle that if you age them in your cellar like I have, then it's time to drink them. They taste really good right now. Wasn't a fan back in 2020, but here, 2024, I'm a big fan.
Kind of a fan. Oh, big fan. Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I like it. This, I will tell you this was a lot less expensive than a Bottle Logic stout or a brewery stout.
Well, yeah, not only 4 years ago, but also this is a small boy and
a 4-pack if I'm remembering correctly.
A small bottle, but a big boy, like Lagunitas is big now. I have lots of feelings.
For one person, too, a small bottle, this is one pour of beer in a bottle.
Oh, but yeah, and it's so big, though, too. That's what's weird. Like, you and I were both shocked by the ABV. Mm-hmm. This is, you drink this whole thing by yourself, you're good for the night. Well, normal people.
No, it was 2020. All bets were off.
That's true. In 2020, you can drink 2.
But that's going to do it for us here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments below. Have you had Lagunitas Willetized 2020? Are they still making it? I haven't seen it around since, so maybe it was a one-time thing. But yeah, interested to hear your thoughts on this one, guys. And until next time, we're the Brewmatures, trying every beer from around the world. One sip at a time.